I went through the whole stage of where like everyone that the top 30, whatever it was that I wanted, everybody got the same generic text like, yo, what's good? Yo, bro, you know me. The reason why I'm happy for you, I remember when you was in LA.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's really inspiring about you, man, is just how much family and like marriage means to you. Cause I remember when you came out, I don't know if I'm allowed to see this on the show.
No, go ahead.
I already said it, so it's like you're like, wait, hold on, what you mean? Like, ask me how you allowed to say it? But no, it's positive. It's just I just remember you coming out here, and I remember you came out here to get a lick of like out of me, this, and I know your family, and I remember you told me this. You was just like, man, I miss my family, and man, you went back, and then the thing about going back is when you went back, you still did what you was coming out here to try to do, and you accomplished it out there. So it's going to show you, as long as you got the drive and you got your family around you, you're gonna win. So I applaud you on that, man. That's what's up, bro. That's definitely good.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I remember that conversation. I was like, yo, this is just what it is. And I just kind of, and I remember you, you was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Outside of me. Like, I'm like, yo, you gotta understand that you trying to win, man. Yo, you remember that conversation?
I remember it. No, but I understood it from the perspective that it's so, when you don't live in LA and you are pursuing entertainment, it's hard to get out there. So once you do, it's like, okay, I'm here now and I gotta figure it out and I gotta make it work. It's almost the attitude like I can't go back because it was so hard to get here. So I can't go back. I just gotta figure it out from here, and I felt that way a little bit, but also at the same time, I was like, my youngest kid, he was young, he was little, he was probably like 3 years old, and there was so much going on, and it was taxing, on my wife. She was feeling it, like she was feeling the fact, with all the support and everything else, she was feeling the fact that I wasn't there. So I couldn't dismiss that. And if I would have stayed and said, no, I just got to figure it out and I just got to push through it, babe, she'd have been like, okay. But at the same time, it was also, when I was there, I had hit a dry spell, from after the commercial and stuff like that. So it was kind of dry. So I was like, it's dry here, and she's feeling the impact of me not being there. Like, it'd be different if things was popping here and blah 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 blah. So I just had to make some decisions, to be like, all right, I'm gonna see what's gonna happen, but I gotta head back.
Let me tell you something, man. This, you saying that about me saying that to you, that was it just goes to show. And I always like I said in my podcast, I like to always highlight the red flags in myself. I learned a lot of not try to find the fault in the other person. I feel like when things don't work out, people always point the finger, but you gotta kind of look at your mistakes. So
right.
My mistake, I think I said that it's good. It's funny I'm saying it shows the core values, because I was married. I was in my last marriage at the time I told you that. Right. So for me to say that to you in the last marriage, all core values wasn't in it. I was like, yo, man, you don't want this. and like I said, it was not negative, but now that I sit back, I think about it, I'm like, man, I was telling you that. I was like, because I was in 2014, right? 2014.
Yeah, that was 2013. It was
2013. Yeah, so 2013, me telling you that, I don't even think I would say that to you now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, nah, bro, go back and get your, because so I just had that situation with somebody just when I was like, man, go get your family. So it's like, now, me looking at, I'm like, I did say that to him. Like, what you doing? What are you doing? You got a Millie Rock on him, man. Get out of here. But I'm happy, bro. I seen you out there. I remember Just to show you how I'm not just talking out, I'm not talking to BS. You had a public access station when you first moved out. There was a public access station, right? Like
we were working on trying to.
See?
Yeah.
You had a channel,
Yeah,
and I remember watching. I'm like, yo, he's doing this. And then from the public access station, like you said, it was another like you had a bunch of projects coming out, and I'm just happy to see all of that, man. Like you accomplishing your dream from home, you doing what you got to do, and that's just something, we got to learn. Like, you don't need Hollywood, you got a dream. You can make your own platform and make a living off of this. So I'm just happy for you, man. That's dope.
No, I appreciate it, man. It took a while. It's interesting that, everybody comes from their specific point of view, their perspective, and that perspective changes depending on the experiences you go through, in life. So a lot of times, especially when you talk about living dreams, people in general, but probably more specifically right now, men, we can come from this I'm late sort of perspective. I'm late. I should have been did this and I didn't, and I'm late, so now I got to hurry up. And hurry up meaning, I got to rush, I got to do that, no holds bar, whatever it takes type of attitude, which is good because it makes you persistent. But at the same time, you got to be careful. What vantage point are you coming from? What are you seeing your life and your opportunities, as? Because to some people it could be, or I'm late. To others it could be, now I'm at the position to where I can, move forward, but I'm not moving forward like I missed something and I'm late. And if I'd have done it earlier, I'd have been at this. I mean, it's about timing. So you got to go with what the timing is, So there was definitely a lot going on then, and same, now a lot going on and a lot that I'm getting, ready for and planning for. So it is what it is. Not in a bad way, but in terms of this is the perspective that I'm in now, and this is where I'm coming from. But yeah, man, I appreciate it, and I'm glad you're here today, and I'm glad you started how you started, and talking about your previous mindset, because I just kind of want to jump off, from there. Like, congratulations again. You just got married, so even with that, like, what's different about Nick second marriage than Nick first marriage?
I can honestly say, man, and I it's funny, I said this on this live not too long ago. I think, in my first marriage, when we moved out to LA from New York, we moved to LA. First of all, we got married within 6 months of knowing each other. And
I don't think I even knew. Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that.
Probably not. I think I said, I really didn't say it. It was 6 months of meeting each other. That's a first red flag on both of us, Yeah. Not saying that to people, it can't happen for y'all. I'm just saying for us, it's like, and then moving to LA she had 2 kids, moving to LA, 10 and 6. And then moving to LA and wanting this dream. I remember slowly when I was coming into my own, after I won the flappers competitions, coming into my own, and everything was changing for me. Like, social media wise, I was like, man, I gotta take the pictures with the ladies. I'm taking pictures with ladies, and there's nothing wrong with taking the pictures. It's just how I'm taking the pictures with them. Like, instead of, my arm maybe on the middle of their back, I had my arm around their waist, not really noticing any of that. Not really trying to discuss, like, I remember in Facebook when we was married in New York, I would open with the marriage, and then like in LA, I was like, even my clients, like, some, like, I was doing the personal training, some of the clients had, I was training the ones that was dressing like that society, like they, it was hard in the outfit and all that, like not caring, taking the pictures, and I mean, it's up to you what you want to wear, but at the end of the day, you pay me the money, I'm gonna train you. But that's like just like comedy and going out and wanting to take more pictures with people, like to make you like, because the whole thing about, from what you hear is, you know, sex sells and you want to look available. This is all the stuff that I was being told by other comedians. Like, you got available, you gotta look this, you gotta look that, you know. And I'm looking at all these guys getting laughs and all that. I'm like, because they're single.
Yeah.
And you know, and I kind of was portraying myself like that, you know. And this is just like I said, like off of me, of my flag, that I could take the off of that. So now in the situation, like, you know, my lady that I went now, we were together for 2.5 years of friendship. That's arguments, happiness, you know, parenting. She has 3 kids, but they're older. I have my daughter who's 6. We went through a lot together. So we were able to build our core values, you know, our core values. And now I make, like, we went to Puerto Rico on a honeymoon, and I don't think I would have had fun. I had the most fun on a vacation with her. You know, I had a lot of fun with her. And, you know, now it's like we're a team. So the audience that I build with my podcast or any of the shows that I do on live, if you're down for me and you're down to be a fan of me, you're down to be a fan of what's in here. Yeah. Not what's here. Not, oh, he this, you know. Like, you could, if you want to say, oh, he's sexy or he's that or whatever, that's cool. I mean, we're cool compliments. My lady, she be telling me, she be like, babe, you better take your shirt off in this interview. I need you to take the money. Like, she be boring me, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, sometimes she'll pop in my show. Like, her head will pop in some of my lives, and it's funny. And it's just like, I'm like, if you gotta, like, now, like, you know, that, to get the whole body of the question you had, not to make it long, it's just accepting of what I have a team, I have a family, you know, and this is me. This is what you have to accept. You want to unfollow me if you feel like you had a chance with me, or unfollow me if you feel like you don't like the message that I'm spreading. I'll be honest with you, I've been getting so much more followers off of me showing love. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out there that's like, man, I want to see love. You know what I'm saying? And they see it, and in Hollywood, you know, it doesn't even exist in Hollywood like that. So when people see that, like, they love it, man. So, you know, that's really the difference. The difference was not me not knowing who I was in my first marriage and knowing who I am now. Okay. Yeah. So how long was it a process as far as, because I think out of all the previous Men Talk Women episodes, I've never interviewed a guy married, basically, who's in his second marriage. I don't think, you know. So my questions are coming from, okay, what perspective have I not, you know, gotten up until this point, you know? So was there a process, or how long did it take you to get over the first marriage or the first relationship? Was that long, or it didn't take nothing at all, or what? I'm gonna tell everybody this, man. You gotta go through, this is my rule: healing, honesty, and hoeing. You gotta go through all 3. Healing, honesty, and hoeing. I spoke about this on my show. Healing, honesty, and hoeing. In the order you want to hoe, because and the reason why I say it, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not being too raw. It's just you.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
You want to hoe when we got separated, right? I remember just texting everybody, the group text, like, hey, what's up? You know, so girls are like, there was some girls, that's one woman like, yo, we know what's up. We need to see that paperwork first, though. Like, you know, you out here like a rabid dog. You know what I'm saying? So when I got the divorce papers, you know, the envelope was closed. I never opened the envelope. I remember we was in court and the judge was like, well, if you guys agree on everything, it's dissolved. Yeah. So, all right, we got to send the paperwork. So when the paperwork came, I just threw it to the side, never opened it up. And I went through the whole stage of where, like, everyone that the top 30, whatever it was that I wanted, everybody got the same text, like, yo, what's good? Got the paperwork? Yes, got the paperwork. took a picture of the envelope and sent it to everybody. So I'm wild right now. Like I'm bugging, I'm wilding out. I'm not even dating, but I'm gonna tell you why it's needed. It's needed because a lot of people tend to jump, and I've said this before, you want to let women know, like, hey, I just got out of a divorce. That either they're gonna message you or not. At least that when they message you and you about to give them this divorce sex, you know what I'm saying, which is probably some of the best sex they're ever gonna get, they can't, if you tell them when they're trying to get attached, you be like, I just got a divorce. Like, I'm not ready for that.
Right.
No matter how they feel, you let them know. But if you don't tell them, you're irresponsible because now they're like, you wasted my time. So I let everybody know, like, hey, I just kind of, yesterday, 5 minutes ago, let them know. So then, you know, after the hoeing, it was way too much at that point. Like, because at that point for me, it was like, I'm in LA, first of all. I'm a single divorced man in LA. I am bugging because I'm trying to enjoy all the stuff that all the single comedians was telling me. You know what I mean? And I'm like, wow. It wasn't until one day I messed with one chick, and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was edible, whatever it was she gave me. I couldn't move. And I remember my homegirl, Shantae, comedian Shantae, called me and she was like, yo, you good? And I was like, yeah, what's up? She's like, yo, you good? Like you ready to work? So I say, I'm like, man, they bugging. I'm having fun. I'm not doing no shows at this point.
Okay.
So I go ahead, I go home, and then mind you, I'm doing all of this, living at this comedian's house on his couch. Like I'm in cars, I'm in stores, hoeing, like I'm just doing all this wild stuff. So I finally open the envelope, open it up, look at the paper, and then it all come out. It all lets out because at that moment you're sitting there and you're like, wow, all that years is written on a piece of paper saying it's dissolved.
Yeah.
So that was the like, man, okay, I had to deal with that.
Yeah.
Then when that was done, I finally said it's time to move, and I moved into my first place, this back house, and I a little bit of hoeing going on in there, but because now I got my own place now, you know what I'm saying? I got my own place to bring. But while that was going on, I was very selective at this point because now I had to be honest with myself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And the honesty was, yo, what do you want?
Yeah.
To be, you know, one of the things was staying at Tony Baker's place. I learned that from him, man values. You know, I got to learn. I had to learn to cook. I had to learn how to cook. I had to learn to take care of myself. I had to learn how to, there's a lot of stuff I had to learn that I wasn't apparently doing in the marriage. I'm like, man, hey, you know. So I had to learn, like, and I have a daughter too, so I got to learn to be a man. At that point, I had to be honest with myself, like, man, what was I doing as a man-wise? Like, I was chasing this comedy, but what about the foundation for my daughter? Then after that, the healing comes in because now I had to say that chapter was done. Because in the midst of the hoeing, you know, you're freshly divorced. Y'all still going back and forth, messing around, cursing, this, all that, whatever. So, you know, all of that, you're not supposed to be doing none of that. You shouldn't even be messing up that pool anymore. So that was the healing of cutting that off one day, saying, nah, I'm good. Heal from that. That's the healing. Now you talk about, we got the divorce in 2015, 2016. We was separated in 2015, 2016 was the divorce. 2016, coming up to 2017, meeting, you know, just training people, getting back to my business. Of course, occasionally dating around. And that all of that process was able for me to truly, when I got into my next situation, what my marriage is now, to enjoy myself and not look back, and not care about any of that stuff. So, because when you're healing, I mean, when you're divorced, man, you're out there looking, you gonna wear that dress for real? So you know, or she's like, wait, you doing this, or y'all going through the whole stage of what you worrying about what the other person is doing, because you know when you break up with someone, especially you're going for so many years, especially with black men and black women, we're like, wow, you couldn't wait a year till you at least had hired somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's the process. That's for anybody that's watching this, that is what you got to go through. To me, that was what worked for me. You know, just you gotta be honest. You gotta heal it. You gotta go through it. Like, listen, I hate to say it, ladies, because men too, a lot of hurt ladies.
Yeah.
You know how in the jungle you see gazelle, and you're like, oh, but some of them gotta get eaten. All right, ladies, some of y'all gotta be sacrificial lambs for us to heal.
What?
Yo, listen, don't let ladies fool. Yo, listen, there's women out there hurt, ruining men, ripping their hearts out, like, get over here, like just shaking it. Dudes like, why? You know, somebody gotta be the sacrificial lamb. You know what I mean? And in my case, there was a lot of, you remember when in King Kong, the movie, the white lady was on the cross and she's like, you know, that was them. Like, I'm coming in like,
man. See, now here's the thing, I do believe there's a process. I mean, I don't believe you need to sacrifice anybody, but again, like, you know, you were specific as far as that's your opinion. But I think a lot in while you're talking, I think about the importance. First of all, that's why I do everything that I do, whether it's a podcast, whether it's, you know, the whole organization, Whole Dudes, you know, wholedudes.org, that's the website, but that's what it's about. Making guys or helping to get guys to become or to get to a place to where they're whole, because people, more specifically men who aren't whole, they do the things that end up harming other people. They do the things that tend to be, when you recognize it at the end of, you know, whatever that cycle is, you realize, oh shit, I did things out of order. I was not whole in this area, which caused me to blah, blah, blah. You talk about meeting somebody and marrying them within 6 months. That's a person that's incomplete. That's a person that's not whole within themselves to think that this is a good idea, think that blah, blah, like that's how you get that to where, oh, now I didn't really even know myself. And now I'm starting this, you know, journey on my career. And even though I'm married, like blah, like that, those are decisions and not in a, I'm not saying this in a judging way, but I'm saying this is in terms of when you're not whole, that's what that turns into. It turns into mistreating people, and then you and them have to go through this process of, you know, or go through this thing where you're subjecting yourself to all of this pain that you don't necessarily have to go through if you were at the place to where you could recognize, like you say, those red flags within yourself, not even with the other person, within yourself. I just proposed to somebody who I've only known for 6 months. Like, man, nowhere did it click. I thought this was a good thing.
Listen,
you know,
this thing, it wasn't even, and you know, and this is not a knock, like I said, because I try my best to not, you know, it's not a knock, it's just a learning situation. Right. You know, we were out at a club and she had pulled a ring out. I think it was her grandmother's ring, and she put it on her finger and she put it on Facebook. And on Facebook the next day, it got like 968 likes or something like that. Right. And I'm like, man, everybody think I proposed to you. Right. And it was just like, let's just, why not? Like, everybody come up. I mean, my parents called me the next day, like, wow, it was nice of you to told us. And, you know, and so we just went along with the thing, like, all right, cool. Oh, wow. Let's do it. Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of times, so the marriage helped us get to our dream. Maybe that's just the I was like, all right, y'all get married, y'all go to LA, y'all gonna split. and that's it. And that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what the deal was. Y'all have an amazing daughter, y'all gonna split.